All right, hey guys, welcome in. This is Rick from DFS On Demand, back with another edition of the Quarter Arcade Challenge, something that I admittedly have not been playing a lot of recently. Just been super busy around NBA lock, which this time of year, it's impossible to play the NBA if you are not around for news 15 minutes before the slate locks. I've gotten burned a couple times in some like three max entry with Jimmy Butler getting late scratched or stuff like that. So I don't want to do a disservice to this challenge by entering a bunch of crappy lineups that I'm not there to change. So haven't been playing a lot of NBA, but we've got an update for the PGA Tour. Out at the Waste Management this past week in Arizona, and what I actually did is I max entered two different quarter arcade challenges, which is something I really like, and I think I'm going to do some more of. So I entered the normal big one, which is I think 7,500 guaranteed, and then after that filled, DraftKings opened up a $4,000 guaranteed quarter arcade, so I entered that one as well. Pretty interesting results. We had a really good week. It was a very chalky week, so I mean, we had a lot of different lineup combinations, so let's take a peek here. So here is the 4,000. So this is the second one that I entered. And what I did is I went a little outside the box here, and I locked in four different players in every single lineup. Those guys were Fowler, Phil Mickelson, Ryan Moore, and Jon Rahm. All fairly chalky players outside of Ricky Fowler. Fowler was a guy that I thought had a really good chance of being underowned, and I was willing to invest, a lot in a guy that could very easily win this thing. He ends up with T4, which is awesome. Phil kind of faded, but put up his, normal, T16. He was 4 over on the back on Sunday, which hurt. Ryan Moore, really chalky, never really got it going, but at least he made the cut. And then Jon Rahm had a really nice third round, couldn't back it up on Sunday, but, another solid play. So 4 guys make the cut. We have a lot of combinations because we did it this way. So because we locked in 4 guys, we got access to, Villegas. We had a ton of Louis, and Louis had finished the solo third. So you can see, we had a lot of these under-owned guys because we were so chalky everywhere else. We were able to lock in some guys that, we normally wouldn't touch. Kyle Stanley, Jonas Blix, guys who are literally, less than 1% owned, which is good. I think that random aspect is really nice. Now, what we did on the other, the regular quarter arcade was, I think no one was over 40%. And then the guys that I had in the other lineups, I think I capped them at like 10 or 15%. So you won't see a lot of Ricky and Phil and Jon Rahm over here. I think I maxed them at 10 or 15%. So we still have some of them, but everyone else was 40. Now with that being said, that ended up with us having a lot of Matsuyama. We actually had a lot of Webb Simpson, believe it or not, and those guys go 1-2. Obviously awesome. We actually had a decent bit of Steve Stricker, who jumps out with a 67 on Thursday, but never really gets it going after that. But there were some pretty interesting lineups here. Here's our third best lineup with a missed cut. Pretty interesting. But we were able to, with a lot of chalk coming in, with a lot of Louis, a lot of Matsuyama, we had some really good lineups. We had a lot of Brendan Steele. Look at this. Unfortunately, we also had a lot of Pat Perez. I think we had him in like 17 out of 50 of these lineups, so 34% of them. So we had a lineup, in 760th with, 1.5 points. Not good. Look at this. Solo first, solo second, solo third, tied for 7th. Pat Perez, come on, baby. But really, really hurt there. Otherwise, so 42nd, that's our best finish so far in this early season. Just look at this. Guy in first, guy in second, guy in third, T7. Now, actually, here's the winning lineup. You can see Webb Simpson's so low owned at 6%. When these guys went to a playoff, even though I had both of them, I was pretty much rooting for Webb Simpson because that would have helped our best lineup. I think there was only 8 or 10 guys ahead of us that had both Matsuyama and Webb. So if Webb Simpson gets the win bonus instead of Matsuyama, obviously we probably jump up, a handful of more spots. I don't want to play the what if game, but maybe we have a top 25 here. Other than that, pretty good week. Let me show you the results. So this was the 2 tournaments. Essentially doubled our money in both. We'll take this every single week. Had a couple of deep sweats there. I like this. If we can continue to do this where I'll lock in something with like 4 guys, 3 or 4 guys, I'll lock into every single lineup and take the super volatile route, which is usually the strategy I like to employ. But then I'll back it up with, some more evenly dispersed ownership, avoiding some of those other guys. So we might lock in like 3 or 4 really chalky guys, and just if a chalk week hits, we'll go nuts there, try to just cash a bunch of lineups. But then we'll kind of go with a more contrarian play. That way we kind of have best of both worlds. We can kind of talk through 2 different strategies each week. So this week is Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I will make a video when I actually go to create these lineups. Again, I used Fantasy Cruncher for this, which we'll continue to use week in and week out here. And then finally, I'll show you the results, which are available in the link in the description. So we've only played 3 PGA slates where we've done this quarter arcade challenge. We're up $21 on $37 in fees. So obviously, really good start here. I'll continue to track this. I'll do a better job of making videos in the process of making these lineups. I'll do a better job of that. And we might try to get back into a little bit of NBA here, but these are the dog days of the NBA, man. These are tough. But other than that, if you have any questions, tweet me. It's at DFS on demand. Leave a comment in the section below, and just give me a shout. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.